What's up, y'all? It's your boy, the one and only A-Switch, aka who keep putting this damn peanut butter on my lip, aka who keep putting this frosting on my elbow, aka the taco meated tyrant, aka the Komake Tiger Dropper, aka the undisputed, uncontested social distancing champion. Bringing you yet another episode of Switches Sights, episode 116. It's The Rock. I don't know why I did that. I just had an urge today to do that. I don't know. Today's date is August 12th, 2021. The world is still horrible. Just in case, I don't know if this is retroactively a time capsule of somebody visiting this exact day and time in 2021. Just in case you were checking, me of all people. The world is still horrible. So you got that. At least gaming wise. And I guess let me start off with that as well. For those that may not know and or uneducated, Switches Sights podcast is a solo gaming podcast where I talk about just that. At least this week gaming wise, nothing too crazy necessarily this week. Some very insightful, interesting stuff, but somewhat pretty light this week. So I mean, we'll gauge it, but it's likely gonna be I think still be pretty packed though, depending on how I gush or not gush over the topics we'll talk about. But yeah, without further ado, let's stop the dilly-dallying, get right into it. Boy, it's like, where do I even start? First topic of discussion. Grand Theft Auto Online. Well, not really online. Grand Theft Auto 6. I know you waiting for it. Well, this is not it. So probably yet another reason we're not gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6 anytime soon. Rumor is just started circulating today that apparently Rockstar is gonna drop a GTA Remastered Trilogy, and that's basically including the Grand Theft Autos from the PlayStation 2 era. I know it technically came out on Xbox as well as PlayStation 2, like later after some exclusivity period, I believe. Excuse me, but at least yeah, now it is well, I mean, I'm acting like the game hasn't been re-released multiple times already, because we had them released on mobile. I think particularly Android. I think iOS came at some point. It re-released on PlayStation 4. I think PlayStation 3 as well, technically. 360. So I mean, it technically has been on multiple platforms. At least specifically Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'm not sure about the other ones. Those are a little more iffy, but they for sure definitely were on the PlayStation 4, at least in terms of the most recent re-release port of the games. But I think what's the most interesting about this particular topic is that apparently they're going to be like straight up remastered, like no like just straight up, minimal effort port to these new platforms, but Apparently, it's going to be remastered using the Unreal Engine and will be a mix of quote unquote new and old graphics. One source who claims to have seen a snippet of the games in action said that the visuals reminded them of a heavily modded version of a classic GTA title. The UI for the games are being updated as well, but will retain the same classic style. No details were shared about gameplay, but this being from Kotaku, have been told these remakes are trying to stay true to the PS2 era GTA games as much as possible. So, and I guess this is being done by the new Rockstar sub company, Rockstar Dundee, which I guess is the newest studio that has joined the Rockstar umbrella. Trying to see if there's anything, any other tidbits. Other explorers explain the studio is heavily involved in not just the remasters, but even helping Rockstar on development of the next GTA 5 ports that are due out later this year. So that kind of makes sense. Getting them ready for, whatever the next thing is. I guess some of these people were from Ruffian Games that made Crackdown 2 and 3 and assisted with the Master Chief Collection. That's interesting. And then additionally, on top of that, it's also being aimed to be released for late October, early November. I think originally it was supposedly going to be like a bundle with, whatchamacallit, a bundle with the GTA 5 ports being ported yet again to Xbox and PlayStation 5. But I guess in this case, it is, I think because of COVID, they pushed that back. So now, they basically revised what they were originally going to do, and now they're releasing them as a whole collection. That's going to be for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Six, Switch, PC, and Stadia. And mobile. But on top of that, PC and mobile is probably going to be delayed till 2022, as they're going to focus specifically on getting the console ports out first. So yeah, at least initially hearing this, I was thinking that it's just going to be just, a very minimal port where they just, just replace the button icons and make sure it's running and call it a day. But at least in this case, it seems like it's going to be totally different from the previous ports, and at least the biggest change being of course remastering it in a whole new engine, at least as far as previous Rockstar games are concerned. So I guess that's probably the biggest question. I mean, I'm definitely, just based off that alone, I'm sold. But I am still curious to see how it's gonna look. These games being remastered, what that's gonna look like, if it's actually revolutionary, if they're not gonna have the hands. if you if you played the the PS2 era games, I don't know what that's taking me out. It's killing me. Their hands weren't separate at all. Hey, what up, man? I'm gonna need you to go to the store and get these chainsaw to kill Don Cornello or whatever. I guess I'm just thinking about it now, how how like the more you focus on it, the funnier it gets in my head. But hey man, I'm gonna need you to I'm gonna need you to go to the I'm gonna need you to go and kill Bob Dole real quick. It's a gritty crime saga, if you will. I mean, of course, Grand Theft Auto has satire, but just hey, I'm gonna need you to kill Don. I'm gonna need you to kill John Booby. All right, I'm gonna need you to go for the head. Go for the head, right? Okay, that is way more funny to me than it should be, but yeah. So I'm very curious to see if that's probably the biggest. That's gonna be the biggest thing for me. That's gonna be like, oh shit, oh their fingers articulate now. Oh my god, oh, articulating finger physics. Oh, the fingers articulate now. That would be a feather in the cap for Rockstar if they especially if they really emphasize on it. That has me sold. They specify finger articulating physics. Our finger articulating engine. Finger, but they spell it weird. They like just add another R just to add another R for, just to piss people off that are anal about spelling. I don't know. So that's probably the biggest, I think, make or break determinant factor. I would assume for a lot of people that aren't necessarily, video game enthusiasts or whatever, that are maybe, more lukewarm about the series as a whole. If that'll, make it worth playing these games all over again in their entirety, which, if it definitely looks way better than it originally did, that definitely will have me sold to play, because it's been so long since I played these games, probably back when they initially released. So I'd be down. If it just definitely depends on how much of this this game they remastered. I mean, make or break. If them fingers don't move separately, regardless, since before they didn't, then that's the make or break for me. It's buy or no buy. If them fingers ain't moving, if them fingers are not articulating, that's gonna kill it for me. If them fingers are not adjudicating, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. So apparently this will be supposedly releasing late October, early November. So maybe Rockstar might have their separate event and then announce this, and then have this in addition. Like maybe they're just gonna make some Rockstar Direct now, and then just have a probably this might take up most of it, since I'm assuming Grand Theft Auto 5 is not necessarily anything else revolutionary. They might mention how probably, given the game is like fucking 7 years old, you can probably get 120 frames per second now, even though I don't know, even like modern PCs still can't handle GTA 5. So that will be revolutionary in of itself. But I'm guessing it's probably going to be some exclusive Rockstar event. They'll give you the further details on the differences between or the upgrades from the PS4 version to the PS5 / Xbox X version, and then maybe push that toward the end, the other this rumored trilogy edition. Very curious how the Switch version is going to look, since that's definitely probably the most interesting of them. But I mean, the game itself is like PS2 era, so I don't think it's gonna necessarily be that much of a I don't know, challenge. If anything, probably the frame rate might be sacrificed. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm I gotta do it. Now I'm motivated. Yeah. Count me in. Count me in. All right, Donnie. Donnie, I'm gonna need you to kill these 5 prostitutes, and I'm gonna need $5 from each one of them. You better give it to me now. I swear you better give it to me. Let me stop. Moving on. Sonic. You know it. We all know it. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. So earlier this week, the man, the myth, the legend, the one dude from The Wire, recently Bloodsport and Suicide Squad, the one guy everybody wanted to have sex with in The Office when he had that stint. He was the manager or something like that. This is probably not the best representation, but Idris Elba, he dropped a tweet where he has knock knock, and then he got knuckles, with the hashtag Sonic Movie 2 Knuckles. So pretty safe to assume that he's gonna be voicing the character of Knuckles Echidna. So I mean, this opens up a lot of one answers a lot of questions. I think the biggest revelation is that I think we all knew it deep down inside, but regardless, we can now officially confirm that Knuckles is black. Knuckles is he's black. So we all knew it, but it's really good to have some confirmation. So probably the other thing is that I guess is gonna be interesting to find out is that Knuckles is British now. So gotta do it. Okay, I'm gonna try to get into character. Oh man, I just gotta, working on my voice acting. Gotta mentally put myself. Fuck, I'm trying to remember the lines. Fuck, what was it? Chaos control, yeah. Fuck, what was the other one? Those are the Chaos Emeralds, isn't it? What was the other one? Fuck. Something about Pumpkin Hill. What was the song? Damn it. You know what? Let's do it live. We're gonna do a rough semi rendition. Just to jog my memory. I think when I hear the beat, I'll catch up to speed. I just want the instrumental though. I just want the instrumental. You to fight freak Knuckles, yeah. We'll do the instrumental. Give it a little bit of a little freestyle. We ain't trying to freestyle like that, but You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, yeah? And we at Pumpkin Hill, yeah? Aye. Fuck, something. Okay, that caught me off guard. Let me try one more time. Okay. You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, yeah? We at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? Yeah. You gon' fucking Knuckles and shit. Find my lost piece. Yeah. Let me stop. I've embarrassed myself already. There you go. I was in my head. I was thinking of just to somewhat redeem myself. In my head, I was trying to think of the song and the lyrics, but then at the same time, I was trying to process the how to say it in an English accent. And then my mind was like, So, if I rehearsed it, but it was on the fly for something that was like, to be on your feet. Hey, that was pretty horrible, but either way, chaos control. Yeah. Sonic, would you like a cup of hot tea? Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm down for this. I'm not sure. I guess it's probably that's the question, if he's gonna be English or Idris is gonna use his normal accent or American accent with this character. Will be yet to be revealed, but I'm digging it. I can't wait. I don't think we got confirmation, at least from the ending scene of the first movie, that Knuckles would be in this, but it's pretty dope to see Knuckles will be in it, and he wants all the emeralds. Let it get to him. Aye. It's just good. Now at Pumpkin Hill, I got to find my lost piece. Yeah. All right, let me stop. Shouts out to what's her name? Jackie Hooray? Jackie from the mom from Sister. She just hitting on everybody. She was like, she heard about Idris in Sonic 2. She was like, I want to play a villain because I know where Idris can put his Knuckles at. I know somewhere where Idris can put them Knuckles at. I gotta do it. Where is it? I'm gonna find it. Nope. Maybe it's the
He needs some milk.
that kind of applies, but no.
Bruh.
Nope. That could kind of be related. There we go. So Jackie made the was hitting on Idris. It's like, hey, I could play a villain Idris, and I know somewhere he could put them Knuckles if you want. Let me stop. But yeah, very, very key choice and voice actor for Knuckles. Knuckles is black, everybody. Knuckles is officially black. We love to see it. We all knew it, but it feels so good to just get the confirmation, It feels so good. It feels so good. Okay. Movie. No. I'm gonna find my lost peaks, yeah? Hand over the Chaos Emeralds. Or I'm a bloody hell. Chaos Emeralds, bloody hell. I'm so sorry. Moving on. The Nintendo that ignorant dad. The Nintendo had a Indie World Showcase yesterday, and had some interesting games, some interesting reveals. Probably the biggest, I think, reveal for a lot of people I know that are hyped. Axiom Verge 2. I think it got that shadow drop. Got that shadow drop during the presentation. There's Boyfriend Dungeon, if you're into that thing. A dungeon crawling dating sim. So, if you if you have a boyfriend and you like dungeons, I mean, what are you doing? Why are you even listening to Garden Story. I guess it's a puzzle with gardens. That's literally. This was interesting. Necrobarista Final Pour. I gotta do it. Necrobarista Final Pour. Was giving a little David Hayter, but you know what? I'm fine with it. So it's weird. I guess it's hard to explain from what they showed, but cell shaded characters, and it just seems to be. I'm getting somewhat of what is the damn game? Life is Strange type vibes, but not really. If that makes sense. It seems to be kind of a, interactive movie from what I at least remember. I could be totally misremembering it, but seems interesting that I would potentially give it a try. Some of these are coming out later. Tetris Effect. I know that's been pretty popular for people. I've yet to try it. I feel it seems like the consensus is the most optimal way to try that game or play that game is on VR, which I've yet to put my feet in, get my feet wet with, jump into whatever you want to spin it and put it in. But it is coming out for Switch for people that just don't care, Loop Hero. Heard a lot about this game. It has been announced to be coming on the Switch. So I'm definitely, I think Switch is probably going to be the platform I'll probably end up playing this on. Since it seems like it's made for like on the go play, but then again, I've never played Loop Hero, but I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So it's like a medieval, at least from what I saw in the video, medieval-esque kind of. I think it has some roguelike elements. But it seems like something I could get hooked on. I could get that next fix. That next shot of dopamine, you know what I mean? Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. So this looks to be somewhat like if you basically mix Tetris with Shovel Knight. It seems like you would get this game. I'm being, I think, very general with it, but I think if elevator pitch wise, that's the impression I've gotten from it. So, I do like Shovel Knight. I may try this out. Might give it a shot. Then probably, I think maybe the biggest takeaway from the direct is Bomb Rush Cyber. I gotta do it. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk? I don't know why I said it weird. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. From Team Reptile, they're known for the Jet Radio games, Jet Set Radio and Jet Radio Future, I think. I think one was on Dreamcast and one the other one came out on the original Xbox, I want to say. I've not played those, but I heard they're pretty dope. This seems, like a spiritual successor to those, which I'm down. I'm down. I'm down to finally. I think it's probably a perfect spot to kind of jump in, get a vibe for it. It looks like he's on skates, so skateboard, so seems like you can use different, I guess extreme. What is it called? Extreme sports type, stunts and rollerblades and what what are the things that you razor scooters? If I don't see a razor scooter in this game, I'm not in. I'm not in. That's my ultimatum. If it does not have a razor scooter, count me out. Count me out. Metal Slug Tactics. I am a pretty big Metal Slug fan, so count me in. I do enjoy the occasional real-time strategy, aka RTS genre. So Metal Slug Tactics, I'm about to I'm about to I'm about to tactic my way into getting you. I'm sorry. I hyped that up to be something that it wasn't. Other than that, that was at least all the games that stood out for me personally. So pretty decent indie direct, nothing like crazy, nothing show stopping, but at least enough to keep the adrenaline going. You know what I mean? I know you know. I know you know. I know you know that I know. Moving on. Resident Evil. You know it. We all know it. You know, I know Resident Evil. I know you want to stay, but you too evil, so you gotta go. Resident Evil. What does that even mean? I don't know. I don't even know what that means. I couldn't tell you. So I thought this was a pretty interesting I guess topic, kind of semi off and on topic, more or less, but pretty insightful. I've strayed away from sales and stuff since some of the earlier episodes, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of revisit and see if hopefully my mic is giving out. It seems like I'm okay. I hope I am. Maybe not. Please don't die. Please don't. Don't die on me. Not now. Not now. Hopefully I'll be okay, but either way. Resident Evil sales. Just go over them real quick, just to get some insight on, I think, some of the decisions that were made, unfortunately. But at least starting at the bottom, Resident Evil director's cut, 1.13 million. Resident Evil Code Veronica, 1.14 million. So I think it is starting to make more sense as to why Resident Evil Code Veronica, why we're getting Resident Evil 4 remake over Code Veronica remake, which is still tragic because you think it would be the other way around, especially considering the sales, but I digress. There's another Resident Evil director's cut, which is weird. Maybe it is, I know director's cut only came out on PlayStation, so maybe potentially the PSN version for PS3, if I could guess or speculate. Let me refer back to it here. I guess, are they even in order? I thought they were. Yeah, they're revised. Yeah, I think some of these have the alternate versions, like later ports of them, but I'll try to decipher that if I can. Then after that, we got Resident Evil 4, 1.2 million. Is that correct? That is the 360 PS3 version. I was like, yeah, that's a little low considering how like godlike that game is. Resident Evil 0, 1.25 million. That looks to be the original release on the GameCube. Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, 1.30 million, which seems to be the original Wii version. Resident Evil, the original, I believe. Resident Evil, I think it's the original version. Let me see. Resident Evil, yeah, I think it's the 1.335 million. I'm not seeing that on the chart though. Huh. I guess they updated it. It might be some room for error. Yeah, this must be the remaster. I guess what's throwing me off, they didn't have remaster or anything around it. So this is the remaster, the remaster that released on GameCube, 1.35 million. But that still doesn't show on here. At least there's a chart and then a truncated version, at least how I'm viewing it, but Resident Evil Code Veronica Complete Edition. So I think this is the PSX version that came out, or a PS2 version that came out after the Dreamcast release. That's 1.40 million. Near and dear to my heart, Resident Evil Outbreak, 1.45 million. Not bad. Not bad. Resident Evil 4, I think this is the original version. Which, Jesus, it's a lot of Resident Evil 4. Might be tough to decipher, actually. There's Resident Evil 4, then Resident Evil 4 Ultimate HD Edition, which I think is the PC version that came out after the other PC version for Ubisoft. Oh my God. Actually, you know what? Let's just skip ahead. We'll go up to at least supposedly the top selling current most highest selling Resident Evil game is Biohazard Resident Evil. I think it's just Biohazard Resident Evil, but technically it's Resident Evil 7. Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. I think it's Biohazard Resident Evil. You know, it's got the weird. We'll put 7 in the title with the Roman numeral version or whatever. So that makes me feel some type of way, at least considering, you know, the current and most likely consistent direction that the series is going to continue to be with first person Resident Evil. I'd be okay with it if we get, like, you know, both first person and third person Resident Evil, which it seems like we're gonna get, but I am still very concerned with each new iteration of Resident Evil coming out. But I mean, it's selling the most so far. At least below that, we have Resident Evil 2 remake, 8.60 million. Resident Evil 5 and 6 both at 7.9 million. Okay. And then probably below that, Resident Evil 2 at 4.9 million. And then Resident Evil Village below that, 4.5 million. RA3, the remake, 4.4 million. RA3 Nemesis below that, 3.5 million. And then the Resident Evil HD remaster, 3.1 million. And then below that is the Resident Evil 0 HD remaster at a solid 3 million. So interesting. Interesting. Yeah. So, goes to show the Resident Evil we all knew and love will potentially, well, more than likely will no longer be come back. We will probably never see Resident Evil Code Veronica. I think we'll see Code Veronica at some point. Probably just not anytime soon, but hopefully before I die. That'd be great. That'd be great. That's it's on the bucket list. Play Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Survive long enough to play that before I die. I think another interesting tidbit, at least comparing Resident Evil to the other Capcom franchises, which is also included here. It seems like Resident Evil is technically the best-selling franchise as a whole. And below that, it looks to be with 117 million total across all the series. Monster Hunter is right behind it. Not right behind it, but 75 million. Street Fighter 46 million. Mega Man 37 million. Devil May Cry 24 million. So, hey, everybody eating. You know, everybody eating. Just eating. Not like zombie, eating brains, but everybody eating. On that note, I think that'll at least conclude all the news for this week. Let's get into what I've been playing, which is, man, I actually put in some time. I'm not even gonna lie. Streets of Rage 4. Been playing it like a madman. I can finally say, over the past weekend up to now, I have gotten not to level 30, at least the highest I've gotten so far, level 35. Yes. It's a long road, but the weekly simulation, which is basically like the weekly what would you non-random simulation, where basically the general mode of survival where it's random in terms of the stage and enemies. The weekly is basically the opposite, where it's predictable set of stages and enemies that are like already predetermined and don't change. But it changes every week. So fortunately, this one is pretty biased against Shiva. In terms of the perks and stuff, it seems to be very catered towards Shiva. It seems like, I guess that was the ongoing thing where a lot of the weekly simulations were. So after being frustrated, like I generally not even able to get past like 20, level 20, did some research, and it seemed like Shiva was probably the most broken and powerful character to play in survival if you want to get the highest rank possible in general. So doing some research into that, because I was trying to figure out how, and then I did figure out how. It seemed like the strategy is to basically capitalize on your blitz move, which once you have powered it up with the proper elemental power-ups, it'll stun lock the enemies enough where you can literally keep, if you trap them, you can keep blitzing your move back and forth to basically, have crowd control and ultimately, be able to shoot up in the stages without an issue. I guess while going into the game with that strategy, I additionally, what did I do? I used his air combos more. And then at least with this weekly challenge, there were a lot of extra jump moves, which it is crazy how much the game opens up even more than it already is in terms of combos. With when you factor in now you can jump more. So basically for Shiva, you can literally do like keep doing your combo or extending your combo in the air, like, you know, a Marvel versus Capcom levels, more or less, in terms of you know, not seeing the character in the screen, but you're doing it, doing the combo in the air through muscle memory and stuff. So with that technique in mind, was basically going through just steamrolling through the survival mode, and yeah, finally got to level 30, which has been my biggest goal. I've been trying to play this game literally ever since it dropped to get that. And then now that I realize this power, I literally I doubt this is a Guinness World Record or anything, but it will be dope. Literally got to at least past stage 30 for all the platforms I have Street Race 4 on. At least the most in terms of unlocking everything, including the DLC, was the PS5/4 version or whatever. Then doing it on Xbox, doing it on Nintendo Switch, then doing it on PC. And then on top of PC, I was messing with the trying to mod the PC version, since I'm pretty sure I brought it up when the original game came out, but not satisfied with the retro soundtrack, since for whatever weird reason they have it where all the retro tracks are the Game Gear version instead of like the Sega Genesis version, which is just the weirdest choice. Maybe it's licensing, but then again, it's like you Sega gave you the rights to make Street Rage 4, so why would they not give you, you know, particular tracks? Maybe it just could be some legal thing, I don't know, but it seems like from a modding standpoint for Street Rage 4, it's pretty damn convoluted and difficult to mod the game in terms of, in particular for music tracks, that was the biggest thing for me. I would have ideally wanted, but it seems to be a whole process. You want to, like, it's a whole particular audio file, and then you have to convert it, and then you have to name it properly, and then it's the whole issue of looping the track, like, to make it sound organic and natural, like the already existing track. So I'm like, I'm good. I don't want the music that bad to do all this, you know, what could potentially be hours of work just to get some tracks you would prefer better. But there were some cool, like, other mods, like you can actually mod some of the survival stages where they look like different retro stages that aren't at least included in this current latest build of the game. So it was fun either way, just to kind of speculate and see. There's like the Kuma mod and Sakura from Street Fighter and stuff like that you can mod. But then it's like it gets to a point where doesn't feel I could just play Street Fighter. I don't know, but cool nonetheless. Also started playing with the new characters through story, since it's been like, I don't know how long since I played the original story components of the game as well. So all in all, man, Streets of Rage 4, hands down, definitely currently the best beat 'em up of all time. I could confidently say that for sure. Personally, by far, hands down, the best modern beat 'em up of all time. Just modernizing the beat 'em up and making it, giving it the easy to learn, hard to master angle, as well as just giving it so much depth that, isn't mandatory, but definitely makes the game way more interesting and engaging. Oh, oh, oh my god, oh my god. Um, I cannot promote Streets Rage 4 enough. If if I can make it the game of the year again, I totally, well, depending on I mean, at least so far, hearing all these delays, is looking like it technically would. Definitely for sure so far best DLC of the year, hands down. Ugh, it is so good. It is so good. Fuck. It is so fucking okay. Moving on. Also played Returnal, got back to it. The whole saving thing, and even on top of that, there was a recent, at least when it came out, I think back in May, recent update came out that literally broke saves for everybody. So, you know, I was like, okay, nothing new is coming out. So like, you know what, let me try give a Returnal another chance. I don't think I gave it a fair shake, you know, when other games were coming out. So gave Returnal another chance. I was playing it, and then it kept giving me this error, which I think was due to the latest, or one of the patches that came out that broke the save if you had it. So fortunately, I didn't play too much of it, so I was okay with like deleting my save and start from scratch. And then on top of it, it was that whole, you know, coming back to a game thing where everything feels foreign as hell, and you just feel very just overwhelmed, and you're like, you know what, let me just start fresh so I can like get a refresh and you know, recap everything back. So did that, and have to say I am definitely enjoying Returnal way more now than I originally did. At least to kind of reiterate, at least from initially talking about it before, it is a kind of a rogue, well, I guess, yeah, it's basically a roguelike shooter. Yeah, roguelike arcade shooter, if that makes sense, where, you know, you have the various aspects and components to that, where you're basically this woman from space, and she's trying to find why she keeps returning, which is yeah, Returnal, and yeah, it makes sense. So but yeah, I've at least gotten to the second stage, but I you know, died. So, and you can't save still, which I think is the biggest thing a lot of people are asking for. You know, of course you can have, if your PS5 is in resume mode, you can you know, put it in rest mode and then come back and you can continue playing it that way. But, you know, of course, if your PS5 gets an update or something like that, then you're kind of SOL if you did have a run and you wanted to, you know, needed to pause it, or, you know, save it for later, technically, quote unquote, save it for later. So, but yeah, I'm really digging it. It has a very accessible mechanics, not necessarily too complicated. The more you're kind of playing it, the game does some interesting things to, you know, not make everything seem familiar. With, you know, it seems like randomly procedural environments, and, you know, being able to you know, throw different like wrenches in there while they additionally add some story components in between like some of the levels and stuff like that. So I'm definitely digging it. Definitely plan to play it again sometime. I've died like 4 times. It seems very similar to what is it, Hades, where, you know, it's, you're expected to die, it's okay. You can start again, which I'm kind of starting to get used to. I'm very new to roguelikes, which probably Hades was probably my first substantial roguelike game I played. You know, now, at least recently, was of course Streets Rage 4, which definitely has very roguelike you know, attributes to that survival mode too. So I was like, you know what, I'm in a roguelike mode. Let me go back to Returnal ultimately. So that's where I ended up being. So yeah, hopefully plan to play some more. But yeah, I'm glad I gave another chance. At least I know people were raving about it, how it's really good. And I'm like, I don't see it. And then now I see it. So yeah. Also played Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I'm not giving them any money though, of course, obviously during the whole scenario. You know, controversy and issues with, you know, their employment and whatnot. But I did mess with the CX9, at least specifically for Modern Warfare, which it was a gun. I think that was like technically in the game before, but not officially. I think you can like get it. You could have gotten it in like as a pickup in their survival mode, I believe. And I think in some of the previous patches or updates of Warzone, you could like pick it up from loot during in that mode at a certain time before they removed it completely. But now it's finally officially come into the game now. So I was like, hey, you give me any excuse to play Modern Warfare. I mean, I'm in. Come in. So basically grinded the weapon to get the Damascus camo. And man, that gun is a damn threat. At least specifically in multiplayer. I don't really play Warzone that much, but at least specifically in multiplayer, that boy is a problem. At least after you upgrade it. At least base as a base weapon, the ammo is scarce as hell. Like 20 shots, but the rate of fire is really fast. So like that clip is gone right after you hit the trigger. But when you upgrade it, put you a nice little drum. I want to say drum oil, but a little drum clip. I guess we'll call it drum clip on it. You about to be causing damage. Other than that, I mean, Modern Warfare is Modern Warfare. It's like I still have the issue of I'd rather still play Modern Warfare than Cold War. At least specifically, you know, I played a couple matches after just to like kind of cement why I'm not liking it, because it's like it's kind of a thing where it's like something feels off, but you can't put your finger on it, and that's kind of what I felt with Cold War every time I would play it. And I think I somewhat figured it out, where I think it's something with just the base net code where it's I think matchmaking me with people like way into another country or something like that. At least it seems, where using the Net Duma, which is a router that basically lets you block off like server connections that are totally like unrealistic and will in turn cause you a lot of lag when playing games and stuff. So after enabling that, it seems like I had much better quality games, where it seemed like before I was shooting people and I would like instantly die with no, I guess, I would die without like that being a legitimate kill, if that makes sense, where I would die in a firefight, but like it would be like I would die in like the blink of an eye, which didn't make sense for Call of Duty. Even though, of course, Call of Duty games generally have a pretty quick time to kill, but at least every time I would die, it just did not feel right. It didn't feel like, oh, okay, I messed up. He shot me first. I died. It felt like somewhat kind of laggy in some senses, where it's like, okay, it seems like every time we shoot, it's like a period of lag and then I'm dead. It doesn't feel like, okay, he shot faster than me, he got his gun up faster than me, I'm dead. It felt very it felt very unfair, more or less. And playing literally almost every Call of Duty game, I definitely know, okay, I died legitimately. He was better than me in this scenario, whatever. But that didn't feel like the case. It just felt like off. So yeah, I definitely plan to kind of, I don't know, mess with the game more and see maybe if that was the problem. But it just felt like every time I've played Cold War, I always just mostly had like a bad experience from just a general basic gameplay standpoint, that it just felt like the net code was always off for me. So hopefully, we'll see. I don't know. I'm still iffy about playing Call of Duty in general, of course, considering the controversy. Definitely not giving any of my money. I'm not buying the season passes and stuff as well. Luckily, it's not really necessarily that compelling, since at least currently my feelings with Cold War have been just that. So yeah. After that, of course, Back4blood. Played the Back4blood Beta, which was pretty good overall. I at least for the beta, I played the Xbox Series X version, as well as the PC version a bit. You can only play one scenario, at least co-op wise. There is also a versus mode, but it's not like the previous versus modes from, of course, what this game is a spiritual successor of the Left 4 Dead games, which is a bummer. And I believe they confirmed that mode, where basically you play, 4 people would play the campaign normally, but there'd be like 4 other characters. It'd be like PvP, but you're playing a story. And the enemies are controlled by real people, the bigger enemies generally, which is kind of unfortunate. Hopefully they patch that later down the line, and with a future update, that you will be able to play real people, but I guess that'll be yet to be determined. So yeah, overall I definitely like it better than Left 4 Dead. The gunplay feels way more responsive, I guess. What's the word? Like, I guess satisfying. Yeah, satisfying, because in Left 4 Dead, the Left 4 Dead games, you would shoot zombies, but you wouldn't necessarily know, like, did I shoot them or did the other people shoot them? But now at least for sure you have hit markers like Call of Duty, where when you shoot them and the X turns red, it at least tells you, hey, you killed that zombie or enemy or whatever. So that, let alone, I think definitely greatly improved the gameplay and feel of the game from there. And of course you have the melee weapons and all the various other weapons similar to Left 4 Dead as well. So yeah, all in all, definitely enjoy from that standpoint. They do a lot of cool stuff with the world building as well, kind of similar to Left 4 Dead, where they have the writing on the wall, fuck everybody in this. I'm totally paraphrasing, but there was something like fuck everything, I hate everything, or something, I don't know. And then you have actual, I think, which is very different from Left 4 Dead, is that they actually show other characters or NPCs now, which I thought was really cool, and also added to the game being more, how do I say it, more believable, I think. Where it's like, with Left 4 Dead, it's like always just these notes, which was, I think, worked in the context, but I thought always, like, in my head, thought like, man, it would have been cool, like, at least we saw one of these people that aren't us in the environment, to kind of, I don't know, yeah, just add more ambiance and believability to the environment. So which I think they definitely improved on now. A fair amount of areas, at least during the one, I guess, campaign strand of this game, had. So, and I guess that's something to touch on in terms of the structure of Back for Blood, at least as far as the beta is concerned. Technically, I think the single player, co-op campaign counts as one stage, but there are various segments. The stage is like broken out amongst like seven. It felt like seven segments, and I think depending on where you are, you can like join other people's games or like matchmake or join match in progress, which I don't think Left 4 Dead had. At least as far as the console version. Well, I guess it technically console-wise only came out on 360. But I don't think the Left 4 Dead had join in progress. I think after you started a match, if somebody dropped out, it would just be permanently controlled by the NPC, or they would turn into AI. That character that was controlled by a character, a real character real person would be controlled by AI after that. So you would kind of be like, this kind of kills it for me a bit, so I guess I'll just stop playing. So at least now it is cool that people can join in games in progress, if you have matchmaking open, and if you don't have friends to play with, you can, it does help make it a little bit more engaging. While we're on the topic of AI, have to talk about how fucking horrible, at least in my experience, the AI was in some particular annoying moments. So I hope this is being worked on. But what was it? I was playing. I think I just match made into a game, and then like pretty much everybody left. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just keep going. I'm whatever. So I was playing, and everybody I'm playing with is AI. So then I try to get a weapon, and I get ambushed by one of the special enemies. I think they're called the Ridden, and like the good people, us are the cleaners. I get ambushed by a Ridden character, I guess, that pounces on you and incapacitates you, and you need help from one of your teammates or AI, and it's the most fucked up thing. I think I shared it on Twitter, where I'm playing, and literally this thing is pounced on me and mangling me, and then like literally all three of my other teammates AI are just looking dead straight at me as I'm getting pounced. I'm like, guys, I mean, y'all could help me, please. I'm dying. Please help. Please help. Then I die. Big surprise. And then right after I die, somebody else, one of the other bots gets incapacitated. And then not even a second, not even a millisecond, they just start healing them up. It's like, oh, okay, I guess y'all I see what's going on here. There's some iRobot discrimination or whatever. Just because I'm sentient, we don't take care of sentient people here. No, we you organic people. No, I can't. I don't like you guys. So I was like, ain't that a bitch? So yeah, that kind of, not gonna lie, that kind of soured my taste with Back for Blood. Specifically, I think after that happened, he's like, you know what? Let me, I'm done. I'm all right. I'm okay. So yeah. Then I played a little bit of the versus mode, where basically I guess it's kind of similar to Overwatch to an extent, where basically it's whoever survives the longest. And so like, let's say I survive for like 2 minutes. If the other team who's in the same position survives for like 2 minutes and 5 seconds, they win the match, basically. And they seem to be dedicated like maps that are like more or less contained within a somewhat closed area. And basically, you're the cleaners, and you basically need to survive as long as possible. And then there's people playing as the ridden enemies, and they try to take you out as fast as they can. And then, like I said before, whoever survives the longest wins the match, technically. So it was cool. It seems very unbalanced, as in terms of the ridden seem to be way more powerful than the cleaners. But I guess that's technically why they also, give you force you to play in the same position. So you'll play as the cleaner as well as the ridden, and then the other people will also play in the same way. Yeah, it was okay. It didn't really, oh man, this is fun, I'm having a really good time playing this. It just, nothing necessarily, I don't see myself playing that mode. I definitely, if I am to play this, I would be playing just the standard co-op campaign thing. Maybe if I had friends I'm playing with, but outside of that, I don't see myself playing that mode too much, at least from what I played. I definitely would probably play if they had it, the adversary-esque story mode type thing. I forgot what it's, I guess the biggest, maybe closest reference is Perfect, what was it? Double Agent from Perfect Dark, where Perfect Dark had a cool mode where you could play the game, but you can have another player playing split screen. That I think they could literally control the various enemies, AI enemies in the map, and try to take you down, which was pretty dope. So yeah, we need a Perfect Dark Double Agent mode in Left 4 Dead again. I keep calling Left 4 Dead, literally it's a spiritual successor. So I think that's a reasonable association. I literally should be calling it Left 4 Dead 3, because that's pretty much what it is. I guess my other issue, I guess it's up for debate. The card system, it feels way more complicated than it needs to be. But technically, you don't necessarily have to think about it. You could just pick this seems cool, and then be okay. But I think maybe the deeper you get into the game, especially other people as well, I think you probably more than likely want to, I guess, put more thought into it. And I guess that's technically why it's there, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. It just feels like the cards are too minimal in terms of benefit to make it seem substantial and therefore worthwhile to play it or utilize the cards. But we'll see. I guess when the main game comes out, see how actually that is. But I don't know. Overall, playing the game, it was cool. Nothing crazy. I'm not as hyped for the game still as I was initially after playing this beta. And I guess it's also it's going to be more open to people this weekend. At least the previous weekend, it was closed to people who only got invited in codes and whatnot, and pre-ordered the game. So I don't know. I'll probably give it another chance this weekend, see if I feel different, maybe better. I'm not sure if they added new campaign or anything like that to kind of spice it up, but I'll probably give it another shot to see how I feel about it. But at least, from what I played, it's decent. Nothing revolutionary, but then again, I think that's kind of how I've felt about Left 4 Dead as well. So we'll see. But at least, if you have friends and you definitely are a fan of the Left 4 Dead games, I think this is definitely a no-brainer in terms of at least giving it a shot. And again, the beta is out this weekend for people that are curious, as well as it does have crossplay. So if Billy Two Bucks is playing on the Xbox and Johnny Two Tone, I don't don't know where I'm getting these names from. They want to play on PC and want to play together. You can. So yeah, Left 4 Dead 3. I keep saying it. Back 4 Blood, aka Left 4 Dead 3. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing crazy, but it's fine. Like if I was high, that would probably be a perfect game. No, not to detract from Back 4 Blood as far as credibility or whatever, you know. I also got in to the PS5 firmware beta. So this is the big update I think we talked about last episode, where basically this firmware beta enables M.2's SSD support, which is basically the expansion slot that every PS5 has to further expand storage for the PlayStation 5, which is definitely, for sure, understandably so, becoming an issue for a lot of people in terms of the limited storage you have. I think all said and done, after the OS and stuff, you only have roughly like 600 gigabytes of storage on the base PS5 without, before installing stuff. So yeah, that storage is about to get filled really quick if you play a lot of games. I guess if you only play, if you only play My Little Pony 5, I mean, I think you'll be okay. This one person that buys a PS5. Ooh, man. Ooh, this My Little Pony. Oof. Ooh, this Barbie Adventures. Ooh, it's about to be off the chain. Hey, more power to you, bro. More power to you. But at least, yeah, this update is been pretty stable for me. It was some impeccable time, and let me tell you, people got into the beta, and I was looking on the forums and getting some insight, see if people were liking it. Was anything was it exploding PS5s after you plugged it in or whatever? Seemed like everything was okay. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and let me pull the trigger on a SSD hard drive, since I know I'm for sure definitely gonna utilize it. And I'm pretty sure this update officially is gonna come out at some point pretty soon. So, and then a sale for SSDs came out, which I was like, okay, let me get it, because this is probably one they're probably gonna be sold out, considering like the fervor in terms of SSDs as well, with amid the pandemic and stuff. So I was like, let me go ahead and bite the bullet. And literally the day after, I got invited to the PlayStation 5 beta, firmware beta. So it's like, man, look at God. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. So downloaded the beta and then installed it. Was pretty simple. Just basically opening the bottom plate for the PS5, unscrewing a compartment, just plugging it in. One thing they do say is you definitely want to have a heat sink for the SSD, as it will be running hot. So I did also, in addition to that, get an SSD heat sink, which is pretty damn cheap. At least the one I got sold out shortly after, since I'm assuming everybody who got in the beta or in preparation for the firmware that will officially have M.2 SSD support will churn that out as well. So installed it. Was pretty easy. After that, the PS5 tells you, hey motherfucker, literally tells you, hey motherfucker, you got an SSD in here. You want me to format it? You getting like what, 5600 megabytes per second. You want me to format this bitch? You good to use it? Let me go format it. Then basically format it, and then when you get to the OS after that, bam, you got like a M.2 SSD, another area for storage. You can tell the PS5 to start storing new games, whether it be PS4, PS5, to this new storage location, and pretty much been pretty smooth ever since. I messed around with some games in terms of moving it to this new SSD storage. Transfer times are quick as hell considering the how fast the base SSD on the PS5 is. And then playing games are like basically, I think in some cases I was watching the Digital Foundry video where they were, making their comparisons and rundowns and stuff. And they basically said that the SSD in some games is even technically faster than the the stock SSD on the PS5. So that was good to know, good to see. But yeah, at least personally, I played a lot of Streets of Rage 4 on it, copied it over to the M.2. I messed with Returnal, which is a PS5 game, and played that. Have not run into any issues since. Playing other various games as well, and runs like a champ. Never have not had any crashes or anything like that. So as far as the beta is concerned, it seems like as long as you have a vetted M.2 SSD that's proven to work, and that isn't PCIe Gen 3 and is PCIe Gen 4, you should be good to go. At least the SSD I got is the Samsung 980 Pro, 2 terabyte, which I think is just that good sweet spot where it's like if you need more than 2 terabytes of storage, it's probably something you're not playing or you don't need to play. But then again, I still have my USB 3.0 SSD that I generally just store the PS4 games on for now. But it would be cool if at some point PlayStation lets you store games as cold storage on the external hard drive as well. So it is good, definitely, that you at least can use the base, of course, obviously the stock SSD on the PS5, as well as the M.2, as well as the external drive, which I think all combined technically is like 6 terabytes, all things considered anyway. So, but all in all, I'm definitely, thank God, we finally can store our drives, and don't have to worry about space constraints. Well, unless these games get really big. We get like 5 Call of Duty sized games, like 200 gigabytes after everything is said and done. It's like, oh, maybe we might need that 4 terabyte, but then by then probably the prices for SSDs will probably be even cheaper then. So, but at least currently, I think the 980 Pro, at least what I use, are on sale currently. So jump on or get lost. I don't know. Do what you do. I guess there's people that just, play a game and just delete it. They don't have any like consistent games they come back to. But I mean, if you have really good internet, I guess you could get away with that. But I mean, personally, I feel like you definitely need more wiggle room than what you have based in terms of the stock SSD. But, that's just my viewpoint on it. Then, still on the PS5, out of nowhere, at least it wasn't on my radar, but Windjammers 2. I was playing this I was playing a good ass session last night. Windjammers 2 beta, ranked beta. You can only play the ranked mode. I guess, of course, to get I'm assuming get some of the bugs out or see if there's any bugs. But at least from what I played, every match felt really good. I've never encountered any lag, but I think it does use actually rollback netcode. So If there is any lag, you definitely won't notice it or recognize it. But at least all the matches I played were fucking awesome. I never encountered any lag or any, what like the disc would come to the half of the screen and instantly go on your net or something like that. Never encountered that at all. So at least backstory of Windjammers, I never played the first one. I think I have it. I think it was on PS Plus at some point, but never gave it a shot. But I was like, you know what? Let me just try this. This game seems really cool. So I did, and I am very thankful I did, because this game is fun as hell. At least the kind of base of the game, it's kind of it feels very similar to a fighting game, if that makes sense. It seems to be a lot of, similar mechanics as a fighting game. Where it's a guessing game. If you're anticipating if they're gonna do this, and if you don't, you'll be punished for it by them ultimately scoring. But basically, it's like a frisbee game where you're literally playing like some straight up arcadey frisbee. It feels like, where there's a lot of different mechanics and dynamics to it, where you can like either lob the disc, or you can instantly bound it back to give them more pressure. I think if you hit X and if you hit neutral X and then forward or something like that, you can basically, I forgot what they call it, not supersonic shot, but you can basically do like really tough trick shots that'll make it difficult for the opponent to basically defend against. But man, it is very fun. I think even after that, I messed around and played with the first game, but at least it definitely feels like this game is way more fun than the first one. But I had to play with my boy. I think his name is Gary Scott. What does he say? All right. What was the other one? It was all right, and then he says something else. Oh, right on. I was like, yeah, that's definitely my main. I don't care. He's my main. So been basically playing with him pretty much the whole damn time. And yeah, he's fun as hell. It's hard to explain, but I'm more than likely probably gonna stream it later tonight. But so fucking fun. It just so much. It's like very easy to learn, hard to master. It feels like nothing. It's not too complicated in terms like you have to know all these super combos and stuff. It just feels like basic. Every matches are quick and concise. I cannot praise it enough from what I played last night. So, yeah, Windjammers 2, man. I think the beta is going to be up until I think August 22nd or something like that. So if you have a PlayStation 5 or 4, I definitely recommend giving it a shot, playing it. It is fun. At least when I played the game initially, it seemed like, admittedly, I was playing it pretty late. So it wasn't that many players, so I'm pretty sure that's possibly why. But it was on like 30 people on. But I think during a day, normal normal hours of a human being, I think there's actually more players. I am in the top 300 or something like that. So I think that's technically the highest I've ever been in a game. So you know what? I'm gonna take it. But nah, man. The matches are really fun, and it just has this really cool, upbeat, positive vibe to it that I just really appreciate. It just feels very just positive, if that makes sense. Just positive. I don't know. It's like this charm and positivity to it that I just really appreciate. So, yeah, Windjammers 2. It is totally on my radar now. It wasn't before, but totally on my radar now. Right on. Shouts out to Gary Scott, man. He is cool. but you do have a decent amount of stages as well. I think there's like 5 stages in the beta. Like I think 5 characters that you can play, mess with. They seem very reminiscent to the first game as well. So Windjammers 2, baby. Oh, it's so good. I didn't know I needed it, but now I do need it. So and after being so impressed by Windjammers 2, I was like, you know what? I'm liking this game. So I'm very curious of the first one now. So I did play Windjammers 1. I played the arcade mode for it just to get a concept of like where some of the mechanics evolved, that some of the mechanics are in here. And I guess that's one of the gripes with Windjammers 2, at least as beta. It was just a how to play mode, but I wish there was some kind of just rough training mode to like get your feet wet. But again, it's a beta, so I mean, I technically that's kind of unrealistic. You're just get in there and play. So either way, I acclimated to it. But yeah, Windjammers 1, played the arcade mode, beat the arcade mode. I was like, take it easy on me. I'm just trying to get an understanding of the game before going back to 2. And yeah, it's fun. I think I learned some techniques that I didn't know that are into or have been evolved from the base ones in 1. I think the biggest one is like you can do the deflect move in 2, but you couldn't do it in 1. There was something else that I think is not in 1, but for the most part, a lot of the fundamentals are in the first one that were pretty cool. I still had to play with my boy Gary Holmes. Right on. So yeah, totally fun. Yeah, Windjammers. I didn't know the greatness of this game. I underestimated the greatness of this game. I think I've seen like my roommates play it at some point. But I was like, I am now enlightened. I am now enlightened to Windjammers. I am now right on. That's another fact. Yeah, the characters just have some just personality to them, which I always appreciate too. So Windjammers. I am now a fan. I am now a fan. I was not before, but I am now. I am now. Other than that, that's pretty much all of what I've been playing. I get into what I've been watching, which has been Suicide Squad, or I guess to separate itself because it's fucking confusing. The Suicide Squad. Not to be confused with Suicide Squad that came out in I think 2016, 17. So yeah, Suicide Squad. So it technically is it's technically a it's like half reboot. I forgot the term. It's basically kind of a reboot, but not a reboot / sequel. Where there's a lot of there's continuity of some of the characters, like I forgot her name, Viola Davis's character, who's like the commander of the Suicide Squad, and some of the returning characters, Margot Robbie as how am I drawing a blank of her name? Harley Quinn. The boomerang dude from that movie is back, and then I forgot the commander guy dude, whatever his name is. He's back in this one as well. So it's like they kind of acknowledge that the previous Suicide Squad kind of happened, but don't as well. It's hard to explain, but it's fine. But then it's like they basically directly don't acknowledge some of the previous characters, like Will Smith's characters. Will Smith's Deadshot is now technically kind of replaced by Idris Elba's Bloodsport, where they're kind of fairly similar in terms of black gunmen. But I'm pretty sure that's unintentional, more or less. But then you got King Shark, who's kind of like, lovable, dumb oaf, kind of I guess stereotype. I didn't know until after the movie he was voiced by Sylvester Stallone, of all people. It's like some moments you can kind of recognize it, but it didn't register until after the movie was done. I was like, oh damn, that's Sylvester Stallone. I did not know that. So this movie is sure as hell violent, that's for sure. I mean, I kind of somewhat knew that coming in, but I was like, damn, I didn't know they were going this far. I guess spoilers for Suicide Squad if you haven't watched or you plan to watch it. But I guess, yeah, we'll just spoil it. It as a whole, it was weird. After I watched it, I was like, I felt very indifferent about the movie, and I wasn't sure why. And then after like some thought and reflection on it, yeah, I think it was just it felt like it was trying too hard in a lot of areas, to be comedic when it didn't necessarily have to be. It could have been, I think, more subtle about some comedy aspects. I mean, a lot of the moments and scenes were pretty dope and cool, but my lasting impression of it felt, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like indifferent. And I think just the fact that I felt indifferent about it, made me feel not too like, just okay. It didn't feel like horrible, like, oh, this movie is atrocious, but I didn't also feel like, oh, this movie is awesome and excellent. I don't know. Maybe it's a change of pace from like the standard superhero movies. I hate to say it, but towards the end you fight this star enemy, which I'm assuming has been in the comics before. But I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. It maybe was just too out there for me. I don't know. But I mean, I think that technically is is in line with like the general Suicide comics, I assume, at least from some of the research I did after the fact. But I'm not sure why, but it just, as a whole, it was just fine. It wasn't great. It was good, but wasn't great or horrible. It just was just right there for me personally. But I've heard, a lot of people like absolutely loved it. So yeah, that's just weirdly how I felt. Definitely way, for sure, hands down better than Suicide Squad 2017 for sure. So that for sure is a given. But yeah, I'm not sure. But overall, yeah, I think it's totally a good movie if you're a fan of DC Marvel movies. I think you'll and you're not I guess queasy to violence, because there's sure as hell a lot of violence in it. I forgot about the whole like initial scene and the first 15-20 minutes, like literally they kill off a ton of characters, which I think, at least I'm assuming if you've read the comics, that's supposedly been alluded to before. So, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That's still my lasting impression. Idris Elba's character was pretty good. John Cena was pretty good as Peacemaker. Margot Robbie was good. She was pretty good in terms of her role. Yeah, as a whole, it was fine. I guess not necessarily my cup of tea. I mean, like, if, somebody asks you, would I want to watch it again? I mean, be like, I guess. Which I think is a pretty big indication of, I guess how you feel about a movie. So, yeah, The Suicide Squad. I guess apparently it didn't do too well in the box office, but I mean, in case people have maybe forgot, we're still in a pandemic, and like, there's now a new variant. So it's like, well, I mean, yeah, maybe we should might maybe want to pump the brakes still. So, but I digress. Excuse me, the Suicide Squad, not to be confused with Suicide Squad 2017. Um, Also watched Marvel's What If, that premiered I think yesterday technically. Pretty damn good. Definitely a pretty cool first episode. Um so Marvel's What If is a basically a what if scenario like the title. Like what if Captain America didn't actually get the soldier serum, but Peggy Carter did instead, which is basically what the main plot of this episode was. So pretty much they hit a lot of the beats from Captain America, the First Soldier, where pretty much they do a whole different take on it if Peggy Carter actually got the super soldier serum instead. So I guess spoilers for Marvel What If, but yeah, they do definitely hit a lot of the beats of the First Soldier, which is pretty good. That I'm surprised. It felt like maybe it was longer, but it was only like the episode was only 30 minutes, but they like covered a lot of ground in 30 minutes for what, like a 2 hour movie of the original. But of course they truncated a lot of stuff, obviously, but I think they hit all the points they needed to catch people up to speed. But yeah, I like the concept. Captain Carter is instead of who Steve Rogers is kind of like Iron Man slash War Machine, at least in this now. So he's like controlling a robot, and Peggy Carter, they're like kind of a duo. It was a dope scene where like Peggy is riding on Steve in his robot, and then she's doing like all this acrobatic stuff. She's demolishing people propellers in the sky, and like throwing dudes out of planes and fighting in midair, and then jumping back on Steve's robot and stuff. So it's fun. It's fun. I like the concept and idea. I'm definitely very curious, since I think they semi confirmed that this series is gonna technically tie in with the official Marvel universe, quote unquote. So, considering the whole multiverse, the obvious apparent multiverse stuff that's definitely going to happen with a lot of these movies coming up, I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see, potentially like Will, the actor that played in the Agent Carter like series, like, maybe return as Captain Carter, and then, have this whole universal excuse to blend everything together or something like that. I think the likelihood is pretty likely, it feels like. So I guess we'll see with each new episode that definitely covers totally different what if scenarios, and see if that actually comes to be. But as a whole, I definitely enjoyed it. A lot of Bucky wasn't the one that fell off. He actually got saved from falling off the train. Instead, it was technically Steve Rogers that met the demise, but they quickly saved him, and he was captured, and then managed to get into his mech suit, and they charged it up because it was drained, and then there was a damn literal Hydra that you had to fight, and what's his name, the Red Mask came in, Zemo, not Zemo, I'm thinking of who's the damn dude with the robot that eventually potentially becomes the robot or something like that. I forgot his name, but you know what I mean. So they all came into play, and what's his name, Red Skull met a pretty quick demise towards the end. But all in all, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool take on what if this didn't happen, and Peggy Carter was Captain Carter. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the other series. I mean, they showed some of the other people, like what if T'Challa was Star-Lord? What was the other one? What if Killmonger saved Iron Man? And I guess maybe technically would be the Black Panther, potentially, it seems like. Maybe, I don't know, but definitely interested to see how this series plays out. And I think they technically confirmed there's gonna be another season, and then also Captain Carter is gonna return to the other season. And I guess that was the other thing too, like towards the end, where they, instead of Steve sacrificing herself, she technically sacrificed herself, and she goes into a time portal with the Hydra, and then comes back, and it's like kind of similar to Steve Rogers, where he was frozen up until now, but she came out of a portal years later, roughly in the same time frame, basically before the events of the Avengers, the first Avengers. And Samuel Jackson and Hawkeye are there, so it's like who are you? And then, oh man, this is weirdly convenient that you're just in time for the Avengers. I wonder if, oh man, if the timelines were accidentally crossed, man, maybe Captain Carter might be reinstated into the main timeline, quote unquote main timeline now. It's weird how that potentially could happen, so I guess only time will tell. All in all, I'm taking it. I'm a sucker for Marvel, so I can't even, hey, as long as it's a superhero, I'm more than likely going to be interested to some extent. So there's definitely some bias there, but I mean, there's been some Marvel stuff I haven't necessarily enjoyed, like Black Widow. I wasn't too much of a fan of, but yeah. So all in all, hey, I was trying to play a theme, but I can't remember it. I don't even know what I'm humming. Outside of that, that's pretty much been it for me. And I think in turn that will conclude episode 116 of Switch's Sights. If you did like or appreciate this podcast, feel free to like, rate, or subscribe if you're listening and or watching. You can also catch this podcast get recorded live on Twitch TV/aswitch. You can also catch the archive of this podcast in video form on youtube.com/aswitch as well. But until then and next time, get your game on. Oh yeah. Nobody's safe.